Hi, how y'all doing? It is Tuesday, September 16th. Um, it's 6:25 p.m. as of recording this video. Um, Sorry I didn't get one out this weekend or yesterday. Joey and I were going to do a video displaying and cleaning up the that topper I was talking about, but Joey got off the bus Friday and he wasn't feeling good. He had stepped wrong playing at recess, and his knee was bothering him, and he was just feeling kind of blah. And throughout the evening, he was kind of going downhill, and by bedtime, he was just sick. He had a temperature and body aches. I got him to bed, gave him some Tylenol for, the fever and the body aches, and I stayed up pretty much all night, keeping an eye on his temperature. I would go back and forth from my room to his room with the thermometer, one of those little laser thermometers that you point at the forehead and you move it closer and closer until it gets a reading. He got up as high as 101, and I had ibuprofen on hand, and I was constantly watching it. By that point, I was checking it like every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I was, waiting to see what it would do, waiting to see if it would go down, trying to let it run its course, hoping that it would break, and if it got to like 101.5, I was going to wake him up and give him the ibuprofen. But it never got up that high, and after like 20-30 minutes it was back down to 98. His fever had broken, and he ran like, there was a couple of times where he ran like 99, 99.5. Didn't break 100 again, and through the weekend he was slowly getting better, but he was having a lot of body aches. He had this constant headache, which is now gone, thankfully. So we didn't do anything. It was just a lazy weekend, See, I got good news regarding the insurance and the mortgage. I have Medicaid active again. My dual complete is not yet active. Medicare probably still isn't going to pick up their end until October. But having Medicaid, I was able to go and refill some of my prescriptions, because the program it has me set at right now is the share of cost, but it's most of my medications are $4 to $12. My insulin was $12 a piece, and my pregabalin was $12, and I think my Plavix was $12. The rest of it was $4. I didn't get everything. We were running on a real tight budget, but I did get my heart meds, and I did get my my long-acting insulin. So I'm now not going to just die. Much as some people, I think, would be awful happy if that happened. The rest of it, I can let it wait until October. And I've talked to Rocket Mortgage. We are good to go. No issues moving forward. ratifying the new terms of the mortgage, and my payment is going down. Not a lot, but a few bucks. It's going from $14.85 a month to $14.77 a month, and it's not a lot, but anything helps. And I am secure. There's no way they're going to be able to suddenly come back and say, well, this forbearance, $76,000 forbearance, we like that now, please. We're not going to wait till the end of the loan. They're not going to be able to do that. They can't do that. It's in the contract. So that will not be due until the end of the loan. And one of two things will happen by the time that happens. I will either have expired, or I will have had the house paid off and been able to make that forbearance and everything. It's kind of a sucky deal. And somebody on Facebook was saying, well, now you're just trapped there. And yeah, I am, but I don't mind, because this is my home. This is it. Would I like to be wealthy, and have a couple different houses in a few different places? Yeah, that would be great. But this is what I'm good with. This is where I want to be. When me and the wife rolled up on this place back in 2014, as soon as I saw it, I was like, whoa, hold on. And I got out of the car and we walked up and walked around the house. Couldn't get in, obviously, but walked around it, looked in the windows, and something just clicked, man. I had the tingles, and I knew right there and there that this is it. I was home. I never felt at home before. I didn't feel at home in the place that I lived in with her over in East Palatka. I never even felt at home in the place that I grew up at, But the first time I saw this house, walked up on this porch and looked in the windows, I was like, this is it. And, I told the wife, because she was insisting that I have input on, the place we bought. I was hesitant because I was a lowly pest control technician making a whopping $14 an hour. And, at the time she was $130,000 a year pharmacist. I could not contribute anywhere near close to what she could, and I didn't feel right about it. But she was hot to buy a house. She didn't want to rent anymore. And she was insistent that we get something that I liked as well. And, I told her, I said, well, I'm sick and tired of neighbors trying to tell me what I can and can't do on my property. So for me, the two main things is no HOAs, and I want space. I don't want an itty bitty little spit of a yard where I'm so close to my neighbor's house that we could pass each other's seasonings back and forth from our kitchen windows. I hate that shit. Good Lord, I hate that. I could never live that way. Wanted space, at least an acre. And we found this, and I said, this is it. I said, this is what I want. If we're going to do this, and you insist that I have input and that we pick something that I like, That's what we're gonna do. This is it. And I asked her, "What do you think?" And she said she liked it. And then when she divorced me, she said that she hated it. She never wanted it. That it was too much space, too much to deal with. She didn't like the older house that needed work. I don't even understand why she was worried about my input when we bought it, because I know that even when she never planned to stay with me long term, I was always temporary in her life. Anyway, I'm home. This is